Bonjour tout le monde, and kind regards from Seinajoki, SEDU and Finland.
Hello everybody, hello dear friends in France. Greetings from Seinajoki, from your partners here.
So as you can see from here, Auvergne is la France que j'aime. We have many partner schools in your region over there, and quite soon you will see them on a PowerPoint slide with all the schools we are working in your region.
And as you can see, we have got many beautiful souvenirs from your region. We enjoyed your cheese and wine as well, so we are very happy to work with you.
And we would like to express our warmest thanks for the invitation to participate in your feedback session there in Auvergne. But unfortunately, or not so unfortunately, we are celebrating the 100-year anniversary of the Finnish independence here on the 6th of December. So this is the reason that we couldn't actually attend the meeting in person there in Auvergne with you today.
So we would like to introduce ourselves. My name is Tanja Rajala and I work as a project coordinator at the Vocational Education Center SEDU.
And my name is Kirsi Lounela and I work as an international manager in SEDU. So as you can see from this slide here besides me, so at the moment we have 8 different partner schools in Auvergne region. And these partnerships are precious and very important for us. So during the last few years, the contacts with different schools have been quite intense. 2 specific examples what we have learned from you colleagues in Auvergne. You can see the examples here on these slides, what I would like to point out specially. So sense of community and belonging at schools, that is something that we have really felt that you put a lot of attention there in French schools. And also we can see this when we receive your students for learning experiences in Finland. Your teachers take good care of the students and there is a nice atmosphere in the groups and you support each other very well. This is something that we have paid attention during these years. The other aspect that we have paid attention especially is bringing out the best in people. So with this I more or less mean the attention that you are giving to special needs students, for example. In Auvergne it seems that you have very nice initiatives that support young people with different kind of life situations to find the pathway of their own. These were just 2 examples. And it would be easy to find many more examples like that. But this, to keep this presentation short, I will take only these 2.
Okay, and now I'm going to present you the Finnish education system. So in Finland, the children go to preschool at the age of 6, and the preschool takes 1 year. And after that, they start their compulsory education. And all the children go through 9 years of compulsory education called basic education or comprehensive school. And when they finish, they are 16. And after that, they need to choose their careers. If they want to go to the general upper secondary education, that is more academic career, or if they choose to go to the vocational upper secondary education and training, which is what SEDU represents. And the special thing about the Finnish system is that the students can combine both the academic and the vocational career if they wish to do so. So it's possible to do a dual examination on these. And after finishing the vocational school or the general upper secondary school, they can continue to the working life or to higher education. And from vocational side, they normally go to the University of Applied Sciences. That's more working life oriented or professionally oriented. There are no dead ends in this. So if the student makes a wrong choice or he wants to change his or her mind afterwards, it's possible, and he can go from one school to another and very flexibly. You can see in this slide that about 60,000 students finish the basic education, and a little bit more than half of them go to the general upper secondary school, and a little less than half go to the vocational schools, but it's almost 50-50. So, and the popularity of the vocational education has been growing in recent years, and we are very, very happy about that. So, what else can I tell you about the Finnish education system? Also in the Finnish education system, the focus is on learning, on the learning process, and not on the testing so much. So the marks are not so important. The most important thing is that the student learns and they can get the competencies, the skills that are needed in life.
So there are a lot of reforms going on in the Finnish education system, and vocational education and training is facing one of the biggest ones. But the starting point is anyway that vocational education and training is very popular compared to many countries, so close to 50%. But what we hope that the reform will bring with it is so that not only a lot of changes and new cooperation modes between working life and schools, but also so that success and popularity of vocational education and training will last in the future. You can see here from this slide how she says it. The main principle is that competencies can be acquired wherever, whenever, and however, as learning outcomes compare to the national qualification requirements. And from this slide here, you can see the three main principles of the new VET. Validation means prior learning and learning that you have been doing earlier before school, for example, in different learning environments, in your hobbies or in your former jobs, for example. And one thing that you can see here at the bottom of the slide I can also really highlight is the close cooperation with the working life. That has been already existing in the form of on-the-job learning, for example. All the vocational qualifications have had this kind of learning environment for years already. But now the cooperation between schools and companies, it will be even more deeper. We are searching for new ways of benefiting from each other. We have a constant search for win-win situation between schools and companies. And as you can imagine, since you are presenting similar type of organizations than our school SEDU is, so it's not always an easy task, where you can see what all the reform is actually including. The role of the teacher is changing quite a lot. They are more and more counselors, and they are the ones who guide the students in their learning pathways that they are choosing themselves. But slowly we hope that everyone will find the ways how to see the positive sides of this new approach, and we can already see very nice signs about this among our own teachers in SEDU, for example. To finish with this presentation, so we have prepared here some examples of these flexible study pathways. Like you already know very well from your own work, so students differ from each other a lot. And in this new system in Finland, where you heard already that learning and outcomes can be acquired in several different places, in different kind of ways, and the main thing is that we search the best possible learning environments and methods for each student. We all have sprinters. We have these guys who are more ready than the others to go quicker with their studies. They either have prior learning or they are these guys who really quickly acquire the knowledge, skills and competencies. Well, the second term here, cross-country skiers, yeah, you actually know how it goes. You use both your hands and your legs, and you work really hard to climb up the mountains, and every now and then you also have a chance to go downhill. But these guys, the cross-country skiers, such students who really want to learn at work. They don't feel comfortable at classrooms, but they rather do practical job. So we work with the companies so that they can find the placements in different companies. They can learn one part of the qualification in one company, then they can proceed and work in another company. And in the end, they can have the full qualification after all the learning outcomes of the qualification have been acquired. We have these students who have difficulties in life somehow, who haven't been able really to decide what they are eager to learn and what would be their vocation. We let them have their own time and take it to decide what they could do and how they could proceed. But even if they have enough time, they sometimes still have problems a little bit. So guidance counselors and practitioners are then there for them, and a lot of tailor-made solutions are searched for these young people. And this is one of the hearts of the reform, that we have to be able to help also the ones who don't really be able to use this sprinter pathway. Then duathlonist, that is the final example here. These students who want to combine studying and working. So when you are working during the days, there is a lot of flexibility needed from the schools. And when we are talking about adult education, so validation and recognition of earlier prior learning outcomes, that comes to a very important part. The quality, of course, is also a very important issue. So there are certain measures that we use to guarantee the quality, and those you can see here. So national qualification requirements that we already mentioned, that is one thing, and working life is very much cooperating with us in making those qualification requirements, and this also guarantees that the education should really meet the needs of the working life. They also include the national assessment criteria, these qualification requirements, and it's not only us at schools who assess the learning outcomes. Working life is always participating in the skills demonstrations of the students. Okay, so after talking so many serious things about education system and the changes that are taking place in Finland, we would like to end up with something else, because this cooperation is not always only about the education itself. It's about life, and it's about traditions, and it's about cultures. So for this reason, at this moment, I'm sharing a little piece of Auvergne with my colleague Tania.
Vichy.
Au revoir.
Bye bye.